As an example little project, I have a test class. I have a class called Person, which I haven't put anything in it yet, and I have a class called Name. Eventually, a person is going to have a name and other attributes, and this test class will create some objects. So I'm going to start with name. And if I had a class called name, I might have a first name and a last name. Notice all my fields in my classes will be private, and obviously names are strings. So those would be my two fields. To keep this simple, I'm going to create a constructor. I'm going to create a constructor method because I like my constructor methods at the top of my field. So I'll use the source menu to do so. So there is my constructor. So my constructor, and again, as I said in my last video, I'll explain super later, but my constructor has two fields, first name and last name. So this constructor method is expecting to be passed string 1 and string 2. Here is the assignment of string 1 into this first name and string 2, which is last name, into this last name. I want to show you something. So watch. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to generate my setters and getters. So there's my setters and getters for this simple little class. So there's my setter methods and my getter methods for these two fields. So notice set first name. Well, in set first name, this is where I'm going to want whatever kind of logic or any kind of testing I want to validate a first name field. So any type of validation will go here. As I was saying, in your setter methods, this is where you place code that does validation in your setter methods. So notice in this set first name, my goal is to get first name in sentence case. And in sentence case, that's the first letter of the name in capital letters and all the rest of the letters in lowercase. So to accomplish that task, I take the first name field, and this line of code converts all the letters to lowercase. The next line of code, I parse off the first letter, and as I do so, I make the first letter in uppercase. And then I join this uppercase first letter with everything in first name minus the first letter. So I get a capital letter and all lowercase letters. So my end result is first name is in sentence case. Back to our constructor. Anytime we construct an object, we want this validation to occur to the field that we do the validation in. So this line that we get by default that says this first name gets first name, we're going to get rid of that and we're going to replace it with something like this. The end result is this field first name is populated from the first name being passed in, but I eliminate the default and I make my first name become passed through this validation. I would do the exact same thing for the last name, and if I had other fields in a class, I would do the exact same thing. So the purpose of this lecture is to show you or to teach you that I would like you to change your constructor methods, get rid of the assignment operator, and use your setters. So your setters will have all the validation. What validation goes here? Anything you could think of that needs to validate the field value or anything the client might request. So here I am back in my test class, and I'm going to create a name just for the for demonstration. So name is my class, which is my data type, and I'm going to call it my name. So my name is going to get new name, and I'm going to pass it my name, Dennis, as a string in lowercase letters. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it in strange letters like that. And then I'm going to pass my last name. Remember, I didn't do any validation over there yet. So I pass my name as you see it, and what should happen is the object my name should have for the first name Dennis and for the last name Hunchuk. So to be able to test this, we're going to have to go back into the name class, and we're probably going to need a toString method. So to get a toString method, there would be an example of the default toString method. It's given to me by source. I can change it any way I want, and I'll make it real simple. I'm going to just do first name like that, plus a space in between the first and last name, and simply plus the last name. So there's my toString method. I can go back to my test class, and I can see if it worked. So I'm just going to do system.out.println, and I'm going to print the name of the object, my name. I believe this will work. We'll test it real quick, and we'll find out. So notice when I run it, there's my name, and the Dennis is in sentence case. So the first argument here went into the method called the setter, and that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. I want you to use that for now on. When you create your constructors, make sure you use your setter methods. Let me know if you need any help.